RAG. What is it and why do you need to know it?
Okay, so we've all used ChatGPT. It's pretty useful when it comes to asking about anything about everything. But you may have realized a bit of a problem. Whenever asking for any up-to-date information or even information about yourself, it's unable to do this. The reason for this? So when the LLM you're using was trained, it wasn't trained on any up-to-date information and therefore doesn't have any context on you. So if we want to use data that isn't part of the LLM's initial training data, that's where RAG comes in.
RAG, or Retrieval-Augmented Generation, simply put, is a framework that allows you to connect an external knowledge base to an LLM. This enables the model to retrieve relevant, up-to-date information before generating a response. Now, to understand how RAG works with an LLM, let's imagine you're working on a project. So let's say this video. And the content I'm using to edit this video is stored on this hard drive. This hard drive being RAG in this situation. Connecting this hard drive, I can use the content from it to add to my editor, and it will be able to render the video with the content included. Now, if I remove this hard drive, my editor is going to flash an error. Why? Because it's lost the data from the external hard drive, and when rendering the video, those clips are no longer present because it doesn't know what it is. That's exactly the same way an LLM is when using RAG. Hooking up RAG, the LLM is able to retrieve data that is up to date. If we remove it, then the LLM loses access to that knowledge, and because it doesn't understand this anymore, it won't be able to fulfill the tasks you ask about that data. So again, the benefits of using RAG is you're able to improve the response of the LLM by hooking up an external data source that contains up-to-date information or restricted information that wasn't a part of the initial training data. Now that we know what it is, let's see how this thing works under the hood. To begin, we first want to retrieve data from an external database. So the user will send a prompt, and within this prompt, we'll also have a query. Now, taking this prompt, RAG will access an external data source. And because we want to be most efficient here, it's most likely going to be a vector database. Once we've collected the relevant information from the data source, it will then be augmented into the existing prompt which the user initially asked. And with this finalized prompt, this will then be fed into the LLM, where it will then finally generate the output for the user. Okay, cool. So we know what it is and we know how it works. But where might this actually be useful? Like real world useful? Well, let's think about a business that's trying to get a little bit of information from a large database of unstructured data that's really hard to search through. Now, the business might decide to have somebody manually search through all of that data in the hopes of just finding that bit of information. The problem here is this is expensive and timely. Well, if we're able to take that data and hook up an LLM by using RAG, it will significantly improve the time and cost here when searching for that small bit of information. Now, RAG is a relatively new concept, so if you want to dive into the more nitty-gritty side, I'll leave some links below that I found very useful and helped me out when making this video.